What if LinkedIn restricts your account today? I mean, right now, this minute, you pick up your phone, open the app, and you are locked out. Your profile, your connections, your content, your leads, your reputation, all of it sitting behind a wall that you cannot get through. Did I just hear you say, God forbid? I hear you. But here's something I learned very early in my career, and that has saved me not once, not twice. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Because the professionals who panic when things go wrong are the ones who never prepared for the possibility that things could go wrong. And the ones who stay calm and move strategically, they are the ones who build a plan before they ever needed one. Like they always say, if you're expecting rain, then make sure you go out with an umbrella. So, in this video, I am going to show you exactly what to do if LinkedIn ever restricts your account, the different types of restrictions that exist, how to identify which one you're dealing with, and the specific steps to take to get back into your account, including one step that most people don't know about that can get you a response from LinkedIn customer support within 24 hours when everything else is moving slowly. I've tried this one before and really it does work. I'll give it to you before the end of this video. And before we get to fixing, I'm going to show you how to make sure that your account never even gets restricted in the first place. Like they say, prevention is better than cure. This is the video I wish existed the first time I heard about someone losing their LinkedIn account. So let's get into it. But before we do that, my name is Olalekan Ajayi, a personal branding strategist and executive LinkedIn ghostwriter. I've built a following of over 17,000 people on LinkedIn. I've reviewed more than 500 profiles and helped over 200 professionals build personal brands that attract real opportunities on LinkedIn. I dare say LinkedIn is not just a platform I use, it is the foundation of my business. So trust me when I say protecting your account, it is not optional, especially if LinkedIn is the backbone of your business. If you are new on this channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button right now because every week on this channel, I talk about LinkedIn strategy, personal branding, and how to build a strong presence on LinkedIn that works for you 24/7. You do not want to miss what is coming. Now, before we talk about what to do when things go wrong, I need to give you something more important first, which is this. Never build your entire business on rented land or rented property. One of the earliest and most valuable lessons that I learned in business is this. Never put all your eggs in one basket. And in this context of digital business, that means never building everything on a platform that you do not own or control. So let me quickly explain the difference between owned platforms and rented platforms, because this concept could save your business one day. A rented platform is any platform you build on that someone else controls, whether that is Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. These platforms give you access to an audience, but they make the rules. They can restrict your account, they can change the algorithm, they can shut down tomorrow and shut down your account as well. Or they could decide that your account violates a policy that you didn't even know existed. And when that happens, if that platform is your only foundation, your entire business goes down with it. On the other hand, an owned platform is the infrastructure that you control completely. Example of that are your email list, your website, your SMS list. Nobody can take these ones from you. No algorithm decides whether your audience should see your message. You own the relationship and you control the relationship. So here is how I think about it practically. LinkedIn, for example, is my primary rented platform. After that comes YouTube. It is where I build visibility and attract opportunities for my ghostwriting agency. But I have an email list too. I have a WhatsApp community. I have my website. These are what we call owned platforms. That is where I move people to once I have their attention on LinkedIn or YouTube. So that if LinkedIn shuts my account tomorrow, my business does not go down with my profile. So I need you to start thinking about your digital presence in these two categories. Build aggressively on rented platforms, but always be moving your best relationships onto platforms that you own or you control. That is the foundation I wanted to lay. Now, let's talk about protecting the rented platform that you have already built. For example, LinkedIn. What can you do so that LinkedIn never restricts your account in the first place? Because the best way to handle a LinkedIn restriction is to never experience one at all. And most restrictions are completely avoidable if you know the rules and you respect the rules of the owners of the platform. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is, number one, know the rules. Ignorance, like they always say in the court of law, is not an excuse. LinkedIn has a detailed user agreement and professional community policies. Most people have never read them. You just signed up, you don't care. As a matter of fact, most people never read these rules. If you're buying something on a website or you're entering a contract and they say, oh, do you agree to these rules? Most people never read the rules. They just click, I agree. So you might not have read the LinkedIn rules before, but that is not an excuse. If you're found guilty, you will be disciplined. So take 30 minutes this week to read the LinkedIn's community guidelines. Know what is allowed and what is not allowed. Know what kind of content, messages, and behaviors the platform considers violation of its policy. You cannot protect something you do not understand. That's one. Number two, do not rent your LinkedIn account to anybody for any amount of money offered. I made a full video about this last week, the dangers of renting out your LinkedIn account for money, and it is on my channel. I'll link it in the description below. Watch it if you haven't already. Renting your account is one of the fastest way that I know to get permanently removed from the LinkedIn platform. And permanently means permanently. There is no two meaning. Number three, avoid third-party tools, bots, and automation. There are tools out there that promise to automate your LinkedIn activity, such as auto connect, auto comment, auto messaging, and they are quite tempting, especially when you're trying to grow your account fast. Someone reached out to me not too long and they told me they could help me get followers. Do not use them. LinkedIn system is so sophisticated enough. LinkedIn system is sophisticated enough to detect unnatural patterns of behavior. If your account, for example, is suddenly connecting with 200 people in 1 hour, sending identical messages to strangers, or commenting on posts in a pattern that looks automated, LinkedIn will flag your account. And the restriction that follows, it is not a gentle warning. You will be kicked out of the platform. The same applies to human behaviors that mimics automation. Doing too much too fast, sending 50 connection requests in just 1 hour, commenting on every single post in your feed in rapid succession, liking 100 posts in 10 minutes. Please, pace yourself. Behave like a human being using a platform, because that is what you are, not a robot. Number four, try not to log into your account on multiple devices simultaneously. If LinkedIn detects that your account is being accessed from different devices, different locations, or different IP addresses at the same time, it will restrict access as a protective measure. This sounds harmless, but the danger is real, because to get back in, you will need to verify your identity. Which brings me to the next point, number five. Verify your account now before anything goes wrong. While verification is not mandatory on LinkedIn, it will not stop you from using your accounts. But if or when you're restricted, verification becomes a very crucial thing. LinkedIn's identity verification feature is one of the most underused protective tools on the platform. Verifying your account makes it significantly easier to recover access if you are ever locked out, because you have already proven to LinkedIn that you're a real person with a real identity attached to this profile. So go and verify your account today. Do not wait, especially if you have what it takes to verify your account. The three most effective ways to verify your LinkedIn account are: number one, you could use a government ID. The most effective that I've seen is your passport, your national passport, or what people generally call international passport. or your driver's license. If you're a Nigerian, NIN or NIMC slip really works. Number 2, workplace verification using your official work email. For example, if your company gives you an email like Ajayi Olalekan at optimaledge.com, that's an email you could use to verify your account. Then the third one is your school verification for those attending universities where they get individual school email addresses. For example, Ajayi Olalekan at aaua.edu.ng, something like that. I'm considering making a dedicated video walking you through exactly how to verify your LinkedIn account step by step. Let me know in the comments if that will be helpful, and I will prioritize that content. Also, if you're getting value from this video so far, do me just one favor. Hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it tells YouTube that this content is worth showing to more people who need it. I appreciate every single one of your likes. Now, let's keep going. Alright, we've talked about prevention. Now, let's talk about what happens if, despite everything that I've said, LinkedIn still restricts your account. Let's talk about the 3 kinds of restriction, because there is no single type of LinkedIn restriction. In our community, we have a name for it. We call it LinkedIn jail. And just like real life, there are different levels of custody depending on what they think is your offense. So, jail number 1, the content freeze. I have experienced this before. So this is the lightest restriction you can get on LinkedIn. LinkedIn simply limits your ability to post, to comment, or to like content. You can still log in, you can still see your feed and your messages, but your ability to engage publicly has been switched off. Sometimes you can post, you just cannot comment or like. Other times you can't post, you can't like, you can't comment. Think of this as a warning, a yellow card saying LinkedIn is watching you. That is jail number 1. Jail number 2, the temporary lockout. Now, this is more serious than the first level. You try to log in and you cannot get past the login screen. Other people can still see your account, but you cannot log in. This means LinkedIn has temporarily suspended access to your account entirely. Maybe because they suspected something. For example, signing in from multiple devices. Hence, you will typically be asked to verify your identity before you can get back into your account. This is the equivalent of being held for questioning or interrogation. They have not charged you to court with anything serious yet, but you are not walking freely either. Jail level number 3, the permanent ban. This is the most severe punishment on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has reviewed your account, determined that a serious violation occurred, and removed your profile from the platform completely. Your profile is gone. Your connections cannot find you again. Your content has been removed. This is the full sentence, and depending on the violation, appealing it is either very difficult or completely impossible. I've seen a few people enter this jail and come out after several appeals. But the point is, knowing which jail you're in is the very first step if you're going to get out of the situation. Now, how do you get your account back? Step 1, read the email LinkedIn sent to you. Read it carefully. Every time LinkedIn restricts an account for jail 2 and jail 3, they send an email explaining what happened. This email is the most important document in your recovery process, and most people barely glance at it because they are frustrated, they are emotionally disturbed. Please read it the way you will read a legal notice, because in a sense, it is actually one. Think about it this way. If the police arrested you, the very first thing you would want to know is, what am I being charged with? What's my offense? Because the charge tells you how serious the situation is, what your options are, and whether you need to call your lawyer immediately. So the LinkedIn email does exactly the same thing. It tells you which policy you violated, even though it does not tell you when you did, but it tells you which policy you violated, what level of restriction has been applied, and what your options are for a possible resolution. Some violations can be appealed, some cannot. If your account was restricted because someone used it for fraudulent activities, because you rented it out, for example, the appeal process will be very difficult and the outcome is unlikely to go in your favor. In that case, your energy is better spent opening a fresh account and building from scratch again. This time, building correctly. But if the restriction, for example, is a genuine misunderstanding or a first time flag, you have options. Let's quickly go through them. Step 2, verify your identity if that is what the email is asking for. If the email or the login screen asks you to verify your identity, this is actually the easiest resolution possible. So pull out the same ID document you used when you first verified your account. Upload it as it is instructed. LinkedIn will review it and will restore your access. Usually, this happens within 24 hours or a few days. That is why I told you earlier to verify your account before anything goes wrong. If you have already verified your account, this process is straightforward and seamless. If you haven't, it becomes more complicated. Step 3, you can file an appeal through LinkedIn's support. If your restriction is more serious and identity verification alone will not resolve it, you will need to file a formal appeal. On the restriction notification, whether in the app or in the email, look for the prompt to contact customer support. Click on it. Write a clear, calm, factual message explaining your situation. Do not be aggressive. Do not be emotional. Be specific about what happened, why you believe restriction was applied in error, and what you're requesting LinkedIn to do for you. Submit it and wait, because that's all you can do. Now, I will be honest with you. LinkedIn's response time can be slow, sometimes very slow. Days can pass with no response. If that happens, move to the next step. Step 4. Under step 4, there are two things you can do. If you have built a strong community on LinkedIn and you have their contact outside of LinkedIn, now it's time to let them know that you are in jail and they should help you drum or march a protest for your release. These are going to be your friends and associates. They go to LinkedIn, make a post tagging LinkedIn from left, right, front, back, and center, and asking them to please review the account of this person and return them back to the platform. I've seen it work over the years. But the next thing that you can do under step 4 is to take it to Twitter. This one also works because I have tried it before and it did work. If you have been waiting and hearing nothing from LinkedIn support, go to Twitter or X, whatever you prefer to call it now. I still call it Twitter. Yesterday, today, and forever. So find LinkedIn's official customer support handle. It is at LinkedIn Help, and either leave a public comment on one of their recent posts or make your own post tagging them directly. And you could also go send them a DM if that's possible. Describe your situation briefly and professionally. Here is what usually happens next. Within minutes, sometimes within the hour, or maybe one day or two, a LinkedIn support representative will slide into your DM. They will create a support ticket for you, and you will typically receive a response and resolution within 24 hours. I know it sounds almost too simple, but trust me, this has worked for me and it has worked for one of my students. The public nature of a Twitter mention creates a different level of urgency than a support ticket sitting in a queue. So, use it. In conclusion, LinkedIn is one of the most powerful platforms in the professional world. Over 1 billion users, decision makers, employers, clients, and collaborators from every industry and every continent, all coming together in one place. But it is still a rented platform. And like every rented space, the landlords set the rules. Your job is to know those rules, respect them, build with care, and have a plan for the day something unexpected happens. Because prepared professionals do not panic, they respond, and now you have the playbook to respond adequately. One last thing before you go, or maybe two questions I want you to answer in the comments right now. The first question: have you ever been in a LinkedIn jail? I have been in one many times. Which level were you in and how did you get out? Your experience might be exactly what someone else in the comments needs to read today. So please share your experience in the comments. Secondly, do you want me to make that video on how to verify your LinkedIn account step by step? Drop a yes in the comments and I'll put it on my calendar. And if you're ready to stop guessing on LinkedIn and start building with a real strategy, my LinkedIn starter bundle is built exactly for that purpose. The link is in the description section, or you can send me a message on WhatsApp and let's get you started. Again, if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe. Share this video with someone who is building on LinkedIn and needs to protect what they have built over the years. I'll see you in the next video. But in the meantime, stay legendary. Peace.